Finally got it working, guys. Yay! Internet's back, alright! Woo! It's your boy Random Randy Savage here. So, if anyone has listened to the newest episode of Cult 45, you'll notice one difference. Anyway, so, because of that, and the reason why we're doing this, and because the moon and the tides and everything seemed to work out, I just had a free day to do something. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go make some content. So we're making content today. Alright. Well, that being said, today we're going to take a look at an episode that I was not on. And we're going to review Evil Dead 2013. Just a little bit from me. That's it. That's all. Alright, so without further ado, let's see if we can get into the window. And it's gone. Good start, everyone. Good start. Alright. Okay. Good start, everyone. Yeah. Nope. That's not what we want, guy. Go back. Damn you. It was working fine. This is good content, everyone. Good content. Alright, well, we'll switch back. Anyway. I'll see if I get this trailer going. You know what? You guys have seen the trailers, right? You've seen Evil Dead. Damn, this is really... It worked perfectly fine. And you know what? Now I'm just mad because everything's not working like I wanted it to be. Hi! Hi! Alright, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna fix it. Watch me. Watch me fix it right now. Right, here it goes. And it's gonna get fixed. Look at that. Come on. Get fixed. Get fixed. There it is. Fixed. Done. Boom. Look at that. Like I'm a professional or something. Blat out. Alright. Let's watch this trailer for a little bit and then we'll move on. Let's see. I'm just going to skip ahead to this part.
Please. Please. You have to get me out of here.
Horror classic. Like.
It's Pokemon.
Alright, that's enough. Moving on. Alright, so, breathe. I'm breathing! I'm breathing. Anyway, so what we're going to do is go ahead and get into the tallies. If you've listened to the episode, there were tallies already, so I'm going to just do them again. Let's do this. Tally time! Here we go. Let's find out how many people did it take to resurrect the abomination. Let's get into our body count.
Yeah, that body count. That body count.
On the body count, I have 7 because I include the dog. A lot of this movie is based on the dog. The dog is like the best character, but we'll get into that later. Let's go ahead and get into everyone's favorite subject, especially when you got like 3 hot chicks in this movie and it's about horror stuff. Let's get into Skin Deep.
It's about to get skin deep. I just wanna see a little peek. Just show me that booty. Just a little bit of titties. Right now, right now.
So, on the Skin Deep, we have, I counted a 0.5 because demon boobies. The abomination is naked. We know that for sure. Demon boobies. That's, yeah, demon boobies. Count that. Alright. That's going off to a great start, everyone. It just, there's so much, we can talk about it later. Alright. Let's go ahead and see who wins our coveted Joe Grizzly Award.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
So for my Joe Grizzly, I went ahead and named... Oh, here, I'll just show you. Let's switch over, and I will show you who my favorite character was in the movie. My favorite character was... It's not even a picture? What? What? Alright, well... Okay. It was the dog. The dog was my favorite character. Grandpa was my favorite character. Mostly because just everyone is the worst, and I really hate that sometimes with like these horror movies where like everyone has to earn their death, and like they do a lot to earn their death, and so you're left with like, who do I root for in this movie? Because everyone's the worst. Everyone is an idiot or garbage, and like but Grandpa's the best character because he dipped out as fast as he could, which is what you expect for dogs. Like, all right, let's move into our final verdict. Demon boobies. Okay, so we have a vomited emoticon for demon boobies. So, Evil Dead. The thing I have, like, so it's a remake, right? That's the gist of it all. It's a remake, a reboot. It makes sense. And the thing you have to worry about with reboots and remakes mostly is trying not to step on the toes of everything else. Like, everything you do either needs to be an homage or it has to call back to the original. If you're a part of our Patreon, we talked about a little bit of that in Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's another movie that came out. But this one, so either you have to either call back or be in the exact same shoes, but when you call back, you have to have a completely different plan, a totally different direction you're going to go in when you're making your movie. And this movie, 2013's Evil Dead, kind of does it? Question mark. That's what, like, definitely we're going on a different track. Because if you haven't seen the original Evil Dead, it's nothing like this. Like, it tries, but it's so low budget that it fails. Whereas, like, Evil Dead 2, the sequel, where they realized they fail and then just turned into the skid. And they're like, well, it was so bad it was almost funny. And I'm like, might as well just be funny then. All right, well, we're funny now. And now Ash becomes this iconic horror comedy character that everyone loves. And it's like, oh, totally worked out. This one's more of like, okay, well, we have budget because the man who directed this also directed Don't Breathe. So that made a little bit of money. And, you know, you got a bunch of unknowns, so you pay them garbage. So you spend all that money on effects. You spend that money on practical effects. You spend all that money on, like, building things. Which ends up being a really good movie because everyone else who's watched movies knows that CGI has its limits. And today's audiences, we're accustomed to it now. We know what the limits are, and sometimes we're completely like, wow, I didn't even expect that. Woo, that was nice. And sometimes we're like, we can totally tell that's a tennis ball on a stick, guys. You did garbage work on this. But, so, the story follows Mia. Let's see if I can get her. Played by our character, Charlie, Roxy. I forgot what her name was in Don't Breathe, but she went from dodging babies to still getting impregnated. Alright, gross. She's the main. Well, Mia has a problem. She has frenemies. Honestly, she has people who should be practical effects matter, and it's like she has not friends, definitely frenemies, definitely people who don't care about her or who are the dumbest people on the planet. Just saying, because it's the world's worst episode of Intervention. We're going to take Mia, who's going to this cabin where there is very little electricity, there's no phone lines, there's only one way in and one way out, and we didn't check the weather, we don't know what's going on, fuck it, right? And, okay, I get your premise. It makes sense, question mark. I mean, an Airbnb was, I guess, not a thing in 2013. Or like, maybe, yeah, and that's like, so that's an issue with the movie you have is like, you guys didn't No one said this plan out loud. We're going to take a heroin junkie to detox in the middle of the woods. Okay, not a hospital? No. Not like an expensive spa? We're college students. We're broke. We don't have that. Okay. Not to somebody's house with a direct line to a hospital somewhere nearby? Like in a city? No. Okay. We brought a nurse. Okay. A nurse who specializes in detox. Oh, no. A nurse who's by all accounts is an anti-vaxxer. I mean, because she's pretty stupid. Like, she doesn't know anything about drugs or needles or anything like that. And I bet she's had her own YouTube channel. It's got 5,000 followers. Whatever. It's not, she's not bright. They try. And you know, when people get hurt, she's good with like trying to fix that real off the bat, but it's like, it's still not great. And it just, the characters are David and Eric, who is our resident nerd granola muncher, Olivia the nurse, and then Grandpa, right? And then Mia. And that's all that matters. Oh, and Natalie was there. Natalie was like me. She was there, but not there, but only in spirit. She wasn't only there when, like, hot chick number 2, whatever. Okay. And, you know, heroin's no joke, guys. The Doors realize this. Like, it's just, you need professional help to get off of the H. I'm just assuming. If I were, because I'm not a drug guy. I don't do drugs. Like Brandon and me, like, we don't do drugs. We just hear about it. But it definitely seems like something you would want to get help. Like, and don't discount on it. You know, I mean, yeah, if you got janky teeth, go to a dental college. If you got a messed up hair, you know, just shave it all off. Or, you know, go to a hair or barber college. But if you're trying to get off the H, do not gather 4 of your friends in the middle of the woods. This doesn't seem like a smart plan to start with. Okay, but we ran out. But I don't care. Think of something else. Think of anything else. So, a few hours in, you know, Mia, like me when I don't get my fix of like McRibs or taquitos, I start to get heightened senses. I start to smell everything around me. And Mia smells the plot hiding underneath the basement. And she just smelled like this whiff of dead animals. Because it doesn't make any other sense of how no one else smelled hundreds of cats decomposing. It's not like she was like, you know, what? Yeah, her body was literally freaking out. And it was like, it just... So, down in the basement, hundreds of dead cats, a charred pillar, and a package that is just bound in barbed wire next to a note, a little paper note that says, "Do not touch." So obviously, the smartest person in the group, Eric, the school teacher, he goes and he just like, I'm a white man in the white man universe. I can do whatever the hell I want. So he opens this package. And it, like, if it requires you to get bolt cutters, either it's very valuable or it's something nobody else wanted to touch or shouldn't have touched. Like, I would never, like, if there was a cookie and someone put it inside of a lockbox, I wouldn't want that cookie. Because it's like, either it's the most delicious cookie or that cookie has someone's soul attached to it. And they're trying to keep it safe. Like, why would you make this thing? And, you know, Eric, he's the smart one, right? So he just rips it open, finds there's a book of human flesh. A book bound in flesh. So obviously, the next logical step is to open this book and just read it. Read it out loud. Read all the Latin and demon speak as loud as you can. But loud enough for you to hear it, but not loud enough for anyone else in the house to hear, over the screeching of the heroin junkie that's detoxing. You forgot why you were there, sir. You forgot what we were doing here. We were trying to get a girl help. You went off on your own little adventure and then just fucked everyone else. And there's there's cliff notes on the side of the book that says, stop, no, do not continue. Are you still reading, you asshole? What the fuck? Like, literally written in blood, there's just words, it's just like, no, stop. And not only does this man cut himself onto the book, rub out, like add more of his own bodily functions and like rituals and stuff to make this happen, and then like we cut away because this is just too infuriating. So Mia's doing great, right? Because, you know, and every episode of Intervention, there's always a part of them just walking the block 6 times, just like, oh, I can't believe Rosenberg, I can't believe they got me up here with these false pretenses. I thought it was a birthday party. And they're like, you know, it's just... So, you're in the middle of the woods. Someone is reading a demonic book, unbeknownst to you. And Brandon put it best. Some people on the movie industry are just gross. And you know, Evil Dead had the same thing, where it's like literally the same thing. Like, did that woman just get assaulted by a tree? And the guy, and then Sam Raimi was like, it'll be great. It'll be fine. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be hilarious. And they're like, okay. And then we just kept it forever. We kept doing that. And then hentai. And then whatever. And it's just like, okay. Cool. You did your thing, bro. So Mia's now possessed by a demon, which looks surprisingly a lot like being you're losing heroin. But again, nurse would know the difference, right? Like a nurse would know the difference between a gunshot wound and a hole in someone's chest. Like, this is weird. And a nurse should know the difference between, you know, like, is this heroin? This is heroin. This is what heroin makes you look like? Because that's not, she go from looking like this because of the hair on. That's the nurse. That nurse ended up not in, like, she wasn't on heroin. She was possessed. And I'm just like, what? This is the nurse. She's not smart. Like, I don't get it. I don't get you, nurse lady. You're not being smart. Oh yeah, Mia ends up getting like, whoo. It gets grody. Like, all in all, really, the movie cocaine's a hell of a drug. Heroin's a hell of a drug. It's just, the movie does a lot. And what's really great, you know, like they said in the episode, the guy was mostly known for CGI, but he did as many practical effects as he could. And it shows. It really shows. And the movie holds up even after so many years later. And I'm just like, oh God. All right. But I just, you know, I wasn't there to talk about it. And let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and give this 1 knee pad. I go ahead and just give this 1 knee pad. I'm going to switch over to me. Actually, I'm going to switch back. There it is. Okay, cool. Nice. Man. I need to really label these things again. Anyway, guys, that was terrible. I'm sorry about that. So, the idea of 1 knee pad. I really enjoyed this movie. Everyone should watch it at least. But there is a level of disbelief that requires when you watch a movie, especially a horror movie. Because it's like, sometimes you'll be like, yeah, if there's a serial killer on the loose, or like right in front of me, I'll run, sure. I won't run upstairs, which is what they'll do a lot of the time, but I will run, right? But when there's a serial killer after you and they're chasing you, you don't stand still, right? And that's what it seems like the people in the movie are doing. They're doing like a lot of the exact opposite of what logically should be done. Like, all right, Mia's trying to detox out here in the middle of the woods. Okay, cool. That seems like it's gonna work. It's just did we try anywhere else before we tried here? And I was like, yeah, but this is where like memories and stuff are from. Like, you know, this is where her mom was from, and like it requires all these happy things. I'm like, okay, all right, that's a kind of an excuse to be here, but did we like? We should bring more people, maybe, or like maybe just more medically trained people, or like, what's the plan if something goes wrong, right? Think of like, I know that seems like a dumb thing to think about inside a horror movie, but that should be something everyone does at least once, right? Like, but then again, it's like, you know, and Jason, they're like, what happens to all the like, it's fine. The kids are gonna call us on the phone if anything goes wrong, and they usually say some shit like that, like, oh, okay, it'll be fine. It'll be fine in case anyone needs to get a contact us. I have a fully charged cell phone in the car, and those roads are like, you know, it has to be a massive weather change for those roads to wash out. And then cut to massive weather change. Okay, that logically tracks to why that happened. You prepared for this thing, but then things outside of your periphery change the outcome of the movie. But that didn't happen here. Like, a lot of this shit is all their fault. And it's like, and no, maybe if like, okay, Eric's reading the book, but Natalie, and because I add Natalie, because she's not doing anything, have Natalie be the wet blanket of the group. We kind of need a wet blanket on this troop, because everyone's on board. Everyone's, yes, go forward, forward, forward. But someone needs to be the guy to pull back and bring the logic back to the movie. I think Natalie should have been that person who'd been like, Eric, what the fuck are you doing? I found this book in the fucking basement, I'm going to read it. No, don't do that. Why? Because it says so right there in the book. Don't do that. I'm like, man, it's just a book. What harm ever came from reading a book? And then we have a mummy callback. And it's like, you know, it's just, I feel like having Natalie be there but not do anything misses out an opportunity to create a character that could at least help with the logic holes that you have in your movie more than anything else. And I'm not going to spoil the ending or anything like that, but it gets, you know, if you listen to the episode, it got wonky towards the end, and it completely lost all the way. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good. I mean, almost at 30 minutes. Cool, guys. Alright, guys, that's it. One knee pad. You should definitely watch this movie. My brain just would not shut up about the whole bits, and that's the reason why. I'm really sorry. This stream is working out as well as my turn on that episode was. But I know, and I was planning to make more of these, but the holidays and stuff are getting in the way. But I'm gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that, trying to get more content out for everyone. I should be back on the next episode. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about Mr. Billy Blanks. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Let's see, what else? Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Go45Podcast. You can like us here on YouTube. Also, I think Old Man Gamer might be coming back. I don't know. I might somebody push B and try putting some Halo stuff out there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe when he gets better at it. I don't know. Whatever. Just, I don't know. But thank you guys again. Appreciate it. I'm working on trying to create more content. And my Hitch Me Ups, I'm going to do something cool. I'm at like 99 Hitch Me Ups, guys. What? I did 100 of these. Almost. I think I'm going to try for something on 100. We'll see. Alright. That's it, guys. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one. Bye.